Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, taking a look at the DRFBets race of the day. For Wednesday, February the 27th, we're kicking off the 50-cent late pick 4 at Gulfstream with race number 7 going 1 mile and a 16th. It's an optional claiming race, and you can play this 50-cent pick 4 with a DRFBets account. On sign up, you get to double your action, which means you bet 100 and you get 100 at bets.drf.com. Let's meet the field for race number 7. You can access free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page. Download them, handicap along with us. With the morning line favorite, the number 1, Guy Caballero, second off the Saffie Joseph claim. And Saffie Joseph is having a really nice under-the-radar season at Gulfstream, clicking at almost 30%. Guy Caballero, though, has only raced once on dirt and was over a sloppy track. What'd you make of that effort, Matt?
Well, that really kind of boils down to it for me, where I don't know what to make of this horse just coming into a spot like this. First things first, if you do like him, you're going to get a better number than 3-1. I would be absolutely blown away if he ended up being the favorite in this race. But I do look at that most recent run and say, you know what, off of a little bit of a layoff, encountering a circumstance he's never seen before, I don't think it was a terrible effort. The 9th place finisher came back and earned an 88, albeit on turf. And then you see the top 2 finishers. They came back and both earned low 80s in their next start. I'm going to be very curious to see what we get, how he handles a fast main strip. Hopefully we do get that. I like him getting back to 2 turns as opposed to the 1-turn mile. And again, really, the kind of the intrigue for me here is, to me, he's sort of unexposed on the main track. You don't know. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. And you're going to get a better number than 3-1. You just are.
He showed some quality as a 3-year-old, winning the plate trial, finishing 3rd in the Grade 3 Ontario Derby, both of those races on synthetic surfaces at Woodbine. But I kind of liked his last race also, the first start on dirt, the first start off the Saffie Joseph claim. He got bumped a little bit at the start. He was pressing the pace in between horses. He took over turning into the stretch, and he finished the solid 3rd. Now, Timeform US has those fractions color-coded blue, which means you might want to downgrade his chances. But I thought that race went to closers, that the pace simply collapsed, and Guy Caballero was one of the horses that was still around at the end after contesting the pace. I like this inside draw. I question this Timeform US pace projector. I think Johnny V can have him close to the pace after breaking from an advantageous inside, and he is double dropping in class. From the optional 62 non-winners of 2 down to the 25 non-winners of 1, I think he fits this race like a glove. Now let's see him do it on dirt. The 2 is Baby I'm Perfect. 3rd last time out for Happy Alter. This is a horse who's solid, not spectacular, and I think he needs to move forward slightly in order to contend for win honors.
Yeah, for me, both wins have come gate-to-wire fashion, so I would imagine this one's going to be used early on. But really, when you look at it, even in those victories, the low 80s, the difference between the 1 and the 2 for me. The 1 Guy Caballero, I don't know how much better he possibly can be. Again, he's kind of unexposed, in my opinion, as far as a main track horse is concerned. With Baby I'm Perfect, I kind of know what I'm going to get. You're probably looking at a high 70, a low 80. If he doesn't make the front, I don't love his chances of winning. And that's why, from a numbers standpoint, I would be much more against a horse like the 2 and much more intrigued with a horse like the 1.
Trainer Frank Russo has a 1-horse barn. And what a horse. The 3 Chathamans won 2 of 3 starts this year for the barn, and he's done it on the lead. Timeform US has him on the lead in an advantageous scenario. The blue bar indicating that Timeform US believes that this race will favor horses on or near the early lead. Now, I thought he took advantage of a couple of things last time out. A, the pace didn't seem to be very fast when he made the lead. B, speed seemed to do very well at Gulfstream that day. And C, I don't think much of the field that Chatham beat. That being the case, 2 turns is no problem, and he's obviously sharp with good figs.
I was going to say, he proved that 2 starts back where he got out there, set the pace in a day where Timeform had the early fractions color-coded red. So clearly that's not going to be an issue for him to be forwardly placed. The question now becomes what you made mention of. Strictly from a class standpoint, you're going to face some pretty sharp ones in here going out for hot barns, and it makes me wonder a little bit, you know, at 7-2, I'm not going to talk anyone off that. I think it's a fair number, but it is something to consider. Getting out to these 2 turns again with other fresh faces, how's he going to handle it?
2-month layoff for the newly turned 4-year-old Deputy Czar, the number 4, throughout the last race. I don't think this horse wants turf at all. They took a shot. 2 starts back, he ran a good second behind a horse named Brasstown, who returned to finish 3rd in a 2X with an 81 Beyer speed figure. Again, as with the 1, I'm very surprised to see him last on the pace projector. This is a horse that is usually within 3 lengths of the early lead at the pace call. And I think the race he ran 2 starts back, at least from a Timeform US speed figure perspective, puts him in the mix for a minor award at the very least. I think this horse has upset potential written all over him, although he has run second 5 times from 8 starts.
That was the thing that turned me off, is that he's just got too much of a bit of a nibbler profile at this point, as opposed to that lone victory. The lone victory came in forward, sort of pace pressing, and then ultimately taking over for the majority of the run fashion. I think he's going to be more forward than Timeform does, and if that's the case, look, he could work out a good trip. I just do question a little bit how much heart he has. And then also, I mean, let's just call it for what it is. Numbers-wise, he's a little bit on the lighter side. He'd certainly need to improve in order to be a main player.
The number 5, Bad Student, is just a cool 8-year-old. He has 17 lifetime wins. The rest of the field combined, 17 lifetime wins. Plus, Bad Student was recently claimed by Jason Service, and these numbers pretty much speak for themselves over the past 6 months, with horses aged 4 and up on dirt in the first start off the Service claim. 7 wins from 11 starters, 10 horses hit the board, 2.5 ROI, good tactical speed, hard hitter. How come he couldn't catch Chatham last time?
Well, and really, that's kind of the question here. I mean, there was really every opportunity for this horse to go and get him. Not only did he not go and get him, he actually threw it into reverse and lost a couple of spots. I just do think, you know, say what you will, I think you're at a point now where you have to just blindly put a Jason Service horse into any of these bets, because, I mean, look, I'm not going to argue with 47% at this point. It's say what you will, you're just bashing your head against the wall if you're trying to beat him at this point.
I think the 6 Diamond Bachelor might put some pressure on Chatham in the early portion of this race, and that might change the Timeform US pace projector just a little bit, and that pace might go from a blue bar to just a fair situation. Diamond Bachelor, multiple stakes winner on the turf. Nothing wrong with him on the grass. He is 0 for 28 on the main track, 0 for 25 on dirt. What mitigates it somewhat, second time Jorge Navarro.
You know, and I initially looked at that and I thought, okay, well, now we're in Navarro's barn. Maybe all of a sudden this horse is going to move up. My big concern was the surface. Like you say, he just seems to be more proven anyway on turf than he is on the main track, whether it's synth or dirt. The problem is, it's not like he jumped up tremendously in the first start for Navarro's barn. I'm not suggesting he can't improve second out, but usually you do get that pretty big jump first time going out for Navarro. So when that didn't show up, it just makes me wonder. He's 8 years old. He's honest. He'll be forwardly placed. I just don't know how much more room there is for him to actually gain. How much faster is he really going to get?
If he can still run, the outside horse, Just Whistle, might have the most of a future of any of the horses in this race. He won a very fast maiden race at Keeneland back in April of his 3-year-old campaign. He ran a good 3rd in the Peter Pan after contesting a rock-solid pace in a race that went to the closer, Blended Citizen, and then something happened to him in an allowance race, and he was vanned off the track. So we haven't seen this horse now in 8.5 months. Michael Matz is the kind of trainer that will take his time with horses off layoffs. I think this horse has a future if he can get back to form, but I need to take a wait-and-see approach and at least see one off the layoff.
I was going to say, again, Michael Matz is usually the kind of trainer that's going to let them take some time and bring them along when they're ready to go. And generally, just take a look at the raw numbers, 180 or graded layoff, only about 7%. The concern I have with Just Whistle, I agree with you. If anyone has some major upside, it would be this horse. I really liked him early on as a 3-year-old, and it's the danger of these late 2-year-old, early 3-year-old races where when you look at it at the time, everything looks great. The numbers are coming back good. Horse is competitive, X, Y, and Z. Then you start to dissect the races as time has gone by, and that's, look, you need time to be able to go back and seriously reflect on what you saw. Okay, he nearly beat Hofberg. Well, Hofberg didn't end up turning out to be what I thought he was. You go back to that maiden special weight race that he won, nothing spectacular in there. And then even that Peter Pan, he ran fine that day. And I know Core Beliefs was the next out winner with a 95, but Blended Citizen hasn't done much. And I know there was another next out winner with a mid-80. It just does make me wonder a little bit. Is he not as good as I thought he was as a 3-year-old? We'll find out here off the long layoff what we get. I agree with you. He's still one, though. In general, yeah, let me see one before I go in.
Pick time for the Wednesday race of the day, kicking off the 50-cent pick 4 at Gulfstream. I'm going to go with the 1. Guy Caballero, still a maiden on dirt, but relatively unexposed. Only one start, and it was over a sloppy track. Love the double drop in class. Love the inside post. Think he can adapt to any kind of pace scenario. Thought the field he was in against last time out was okay, and I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping he drifts off that 3-1.
I just can't imagine him being the favorite in here with the other high-profile outfits, and I don't mean that as a knock to Saffie Joseph. I just think there are other connections that are going to take money in here. Most notably, the horse that I'm going to go with in here, Bad Student, and it is. Again, say what you will. I have 50% nearly. I'm not going to just sit here and continue to lose money trying to beat. At this point, off the layoff, Irad stays aboard. I'm going to go with Bad Student. I don't love the horse by any stretch. But you get to a certain point and go, what else am I supposed to do?
Give me numbers.
In this spot, I'm going to go 5, 7, 3, 1.
I'm going to try to beat Bad Student. Perhaps it's so foolish with the formulator fact that we showed and the way service is going and the way IRAD is going. But I'm going to go 1, 3, 6, and 4. And I'm a little bit interested in the 4 Deputy Czar, maybe to pick up some pieces underneath at a very nice price. Nice way to kick off the late pick 4 at Gulfstream on Wednesday. Remember to bet it with a DRFBets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com. Double your action with DRFBets. Ready, set, bet. Approximate post time for the 7th at Gulfstream on Wednesday, 3:39 Eastern. Best of luck.